What if I told you our solar system almost had two suns? A second sun sounds like science fiction, but hidden inside Jupiter is enough material to make scientists wonder. Could the largest planet in our solar system have become a star? To answer that question, we need to travel billions of years into the past. Back when the sun itself was still being born, the solar system was a chaotic place. Nothing looked like the peaceful system we know today. Every planet was fighting to grow, and Jupiter was winning. Jupiter wasn't just growing, it was becoming a giant. Every second, more gas poured into the planet. The bigger Jupiter became, the stronger its gravity grew. Soon, it began stealing material from all around it. And that's when scientists think Jupiter reached a critical moment. Because stars are born from hydrogen, and Jupiter was made mostly of the same ingredient. For a moment, it almost sounds simple. If stars are made from hydrogen, then why didn't Jupiter become one? The answer comes down to one thing: mass. To become a true star, gravity must crush matter with unimaginable force. That pressure ignites nuclear fusion. Fusion is what makes stars shine. Without fusion, a planet can never become a star. And Jupiter had a problem. A very big problem. Jupiter was massive, but it wasn't nearly massive enough. In fact, Jupiter wasn't even close. Not a little short. Not even 10 times short. Scientists estimate Jupiter would need around 80 times more mass. Only then could fusion begin. That's when Jupiter enters a strange category. Too large to be like Earth, but far too small to be a star. Astronomers call objects like this failed stars. And that's where the story gets even stranger. Beyond Jupiter lies a strange class of objects. Objects that almost became stars. Astronomers call them brown dwarfs. They're larger than planets. But they're not true stars. They're trapped between two worlds. Their gravity squeezes their interiors incredibly hard. For a short time, some can even produce tiny amounts of fusion. But the reaction never becomes powerful enough. Even a failed star is far beyond Jupiter. Jupiter was never truly close to becoming a second sun. The gap between planets and stars is far greater than most people realize. The difference is far larger than most people imagine. Jupiter may be the king of planets, but compared to even the smallest stars, it remains surprisingly small. But what if Jupiter somehow kept growing? What if it never stopped collecting material? At first, nothing would seem different. But deep inside, the pressure would keep rising. The planet would become hotter and hotter. Its interior would slowly transform. Eventually, Jupiter would no longer look like a planet. It would become something far stranger. A brown dwarf. A failed star shining faintly in the darkness. And for the first time, the solar system would have two suns. At first, the view would be breathtaking. Days would become dramatically brighter. Night might never feel the same again. Even after sunset, the sky could remain unusually bright. But the beauty would hide a growing problem. Because more sunlight means more energy, and Earth would absorb much of it. Temperatures across the planet would begin to rise. Slowly at first, gradually enough that many people might ignore it. Then faster and faster. And soon, the entire planet would notice. The first warning signs would appear near the poles. Ice that survived for thousands of years would begin melting, and the oceans would slowly begin to rise. At first, most people wouldn't notice. The changes would seem small at first, but the planet was already changing. Storm systems would begin growing stronger. Some regions would face intense droughts. Others would experience relentless rainfall. Weather patterns that shaped civilization would start breaking down. And this was only the beginning. As temperatures continued rising, nature would struggle to keep up. Some species would adapt. Many others wouldn't. Entire ecosystems would begin unraveling. Food chains that took millions of years to develop would break. Forests would retreat from regions they once dominated. Some landscapes would become almost unrecognizable. The places humans built their civilizations would change too. People would begin realizing this wasn't temporary. The solar system itself was changing. But the climate wasn't the only problem. Jupiter's gravity would be changing too. And gravity controls everything in the solar system. Every orbit depends on a delicate balance. A balance maintained for billions of years. Change one major object, and the entire system responds. Even small changes can create enormous consequences. Asteroids would be among the first to notice. Many would be pulled onto new paths. Some could even be sent toward the inner planets. Some might cross paths they had never crossed before. And suddenly, Earth would have a new problem. A single asteroid can change history. Now imagine thousands following new paths. The inner solar system would become far less predictable. Earth would face threats from every direction. And yet, something even stranger was true. Even after all that growth, even after becoming a brown dwarf, Jupiter still wouldn't be a true star, because a real star requires far more mass, much more than most people realize. To become a true star, Jupiter would need an unbelievable amount of extra mass. Not 2 times more, not 10 times more. It would need roughly 80 times its current mass. Only then would gravity become powerful enough to ignite hydrogen fusion. That fusion is what makes stars shine for billions of years. And that's the step Jupiter could never quite reach. It was always destined to remain a giant planet. But that doesn't make Jupiter any less extraordinary. In fact, Jupiter is already extraordinary. It's the largest planet in the solar system. More than 11 Earths could fit across its diameter. Its storms are larger than entire planets. Some have raged for centuries. The Great Red Spot is a reminder of how extreme Jupiter can be, and Jupiter may have protected Earth countless times. Its gravity acts like a giant shield, redirecting many objects that might otherwise travel deeper into the solar system. Without Jupiter, Earth might look very different. Not every hero shines like a star. Sometimes a planet is enough. So could Jupiter have become a second sun? In theory, almost. In reality, not even close. The gap between Jupiter and a true star is enormous, far larger than most people imagine. But imagining it teaches us something incredible. Our solar system is balanced in ways we rarely notice. Every planet plays a role in that balance. Change one piece, and everything changes with it. Maybe that's what makes Jupiter so fascinating. Not because it almost became a star, but because it's a reminder of how incredible planets can be. After all, a second sun would have been beautiful. The skies would have looked unlike anything we've ever seen. But beauty doesn't always mean survival. And our solar system may be better the way it is. One star, one giant planet, and billions of years of stability. A balance that allowed life on Earth to thrive. And that's why Jupiter never became a star, but became something just as extraordinary. And that's what makes Jupiter special.